Hello guys, Tim Schmoyer here, and I am hanging out with Cami Gilmore. Hey Cami, how are you?
Hey Tim, good.
Good. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to the Simple Youth Ministry Conference, but she is a lady does all the magic behind the scenes, who runs everything, gets everything going so that us youth workers can have a great time there. How many years have you been doing this now, Cami?
5.
5 years. Okay, so she's like a pro at this by now. And I just want to introduce you guys to the Simple Youth Ministry Conference. If you're not familiar with it, because it's something I really believe in. I've been there for a couple of years now, I think 2 or 3, and this has been amazing. And I just love everything about it. So, Cami, for the people out there who have been to all these different youth conferences, or maybe haven't been to any conferences at all, I mean, depending on which denomination you're part of, this denominational conferences, what makes the Simple Youth Ministry Conference just different from all the other conferences out there for youth workers?
It's funny because when you called me a pro, I had to laugh because we're not pros. And I think that's actually how the difference started. And it might have been by accident because we wanted to do an event for youth workers because we just really wanted to see everyone face to face, love on them, encourage them, train them. Typically, conferences are part training.
Yeah.
It's on the event, some worship, encouragement, and everything. But for us, about relationships, it meant a lot. The group let us start this out as just a ministry, so it wasn't really an event. We don't make money on it, and so we just had fun, not knowing anything about the event business, and just saying, since we know ministry, not events, let's run it like we would a ministry.
Yeah.
So basically, you're our kids, and we're just a bunch of adults running in, and it's a super fun time. But I think what makes it unique is that whole relationships thing is carried through.
Yeah. How does that play out, though? Because I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people in conferences that say, "Hey, relationships are really important to us." There's a difference between saying it and actually living it out and doing it. What does that look like at Simply's conference?
And every year we try to live into it more. And I think the relationships first start with the youth workers. We say it's a conference created by youth workers for youth workers. And we, since day one, youth workers have spoken into it. And we have a team called the Inside Track team of about 400 youth workers. We actually just had 100 of them out.
Yeah, I saw that going on by Twitter. It looked like you guys had a good time.
It's so fun. It's like anything in ministry. When you rally people at their passion points, at their gifts, and give it away and basically let them own it and build it, first of all, it takes a lot of the work off. And second of all, it makes it way better because in every area from prayer to care to peer support, just simple stuff. We just have a huge core of youth workers that makes it awesome. Yeah. And then our speakers.
You guys definitely have a pretty good grassroots groundswell there of supporters. I got a question from someone on Twitter. I told them that we were going to be having this conversation. And by the way, you can follow me at twitter.com/Tim Schmoyer and Cami at twitter.com/SYM conference.
Yep.
So this is from Benjer McVeigh, and he says he's doing his budget right now for 2011, and he wants to know what are the top 5 reasons he should bring 2 volunteers that it would be worth his financial investment to be there, not only himself, but to bring some people with him.
That is a great question. I think what we found is, and I actually just talked to someone yesterday in Chicago that said, man, I brought my volunteers. It was hard to convince them because whether they have budget or whether they're paying out of pocket, is a huge deal.
Yeah.
But he said that because we do some specific training for volunteers, because sometimes what they want to know and hear is a little bit different than a professional youth pastor, he's just said they came back 100% engaged, equipped, they were on the same page. It wasn't just a bonding, but it was. He just said, what that volunteer said is, I finally get it. I'm called to ministry too. The other volunteer said, actually, we're called to ministry.
Yeah.
What you have is adults who are willing to invest in the lives of kids, which is, really one of the number one needs of youth pastors.
Yeah.
So it's great to
I have a adult leader. I don't even know if I told you this, Cami, or not, but I have a youth leader here. This was just last night, a meeting last night. I knew this before, but she reiterated last night, and the conference was, last February, so I know this is still sticking with her. She was ready to bail on youth ministry and go do Celebrate Recovery and some other ministry stuff instead in our church. And but she came to the Simply conference with us. I think it took about eight of our leaders out there last year, and she said even last night when she was talking about our leader meeting, her eyes like just glowing, and she's just like, that conference was just fantastic. It's absolutely what I needed. That the training. I know this sounds like a big promo. I'm not making this up. This is what she said, and I just couldn't help but smile. There was a couple of years ago when I spent 100% of my annual youth budget, the entire thing, just on conference because it was just so worth it, that valuable for our group. Because I don't think there's any substitute for well-trained, passionate volunteers who feel confident when they're working with teens. They know what to say. They feel like they know how to respond to different things. They don't feel like they're alone in this. It's just totally invaluable. So,
and I think the other thing too that you can't put a price on for volunteers or any youth pastor in general is it's not just about the training. It's about making sure people have time to connect with God.
Yeah.
The ministry's so busy.
Yeah.
And whatever the issue, we know there's a lot of issues sometimes that they're dealing with, but just a chance to just come and rest in God's presence. And for volunteers too, a healthy soul. We focus a lot on some personal life stuff too, marriage, just a lot of counseling stuff. And, you got to be healthy to do healthy ministry.
Yeah, cool. For those of us who have been to the conference in the past and are looking forward to coming again this year, what can we expect to be different? It's always been great. So, and I know you just pour over those evaluations as people do, like crazy. And you use those evaluations to make changes and things for the next year. So, what can we expect different this year?
Well, we're always learning, and the fun thing is because we're so open to suggestions, and the thing is literally built for youth pastors by youth pastors.
Yeah.
One area we knew we had a lot of work to do was worship, and so I think a huge emphasis this year is really on worship, solid worship, not just worship as in, corporate stand-up, sing-along stuff with great artists, but worship experiences. We're super excited. Shane and Shane are leading worship, which, they're strong. We had them out here. We said, if we're going to hire worship leaders, we need to know them and be in relationship with them, and they need to catch the vision.
Yeah.
No hired guns, no bands that we don't know. Gunger, friends of ours from Denver, Michael Gunger Band, they go by Gunger now. They're doing a 90-minute Beautiful Things event on Saturday night at the conference.
Okay.
And so that whole night is like a layered worship experience. Louis Giglio, we're excited about him. Obviously, Mr. Worship Guy.
Right, yeah.
My other stuff, we just added, we have about 188, actually, different class offerings, tons of new staff.
You added 188, is that what you said?
No. Well, there's 188 total.
Oh, total. I was going to say, 188 more. I was like, they don't pay you enough.
They don't pay me enough anyway. Honestly, don't tell them, but if they stop paying me, well, I really can pay my credit card bill. But I love it. But I think we actually added 50 more classes than last year. And of the 188, I think probably about 150 are new. Cool. But we've added some stuff on senior pastor relationships, healthy church staff, communication during transition, just some of the church leadership stuff. Continued added stuff for middle school and junior high. That's always developing, and stuff for volunteers as well.
Yeah.
Some more stuff for spouses of youth workers.
Cool. My wife will appreciate that. And you guys definitely need to come out to my workshop, communicating with teens and parents throughout the week.
Yep.
That's what I'm doing. And I think I'm on a panel I saw with Griffin or...
Yep. Bloggers and social media.
Yeah, I think I'm doing that. The one I'm really excited about going to is actually Riddle's one that he's doing about relationships with senior pastors. And so I'm excited to... I was actually with him, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago down in Oklahoma, and asked him, I was like, come on, man, you got to give me the crash course. And he said he's still working on the content, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. So registration deadline is coming up soon?
Registration, the early bird is Halloween.
So you guys got a couple days left.
I know, it's crazy. The phones are nuts. We're filling 50% faster than last year, it's actually getting a little scary.
Yeah. Well, you guys sold out last year, way before the conference, right?
We did. We sold out about 3.5 weeks early. We went to waiting list, and there's always people to drop out, so we were able to fit in some more, but we turned away a couple hundred, and from the way it's looking, it looks like it will probably be full by January 15th or so.
Ooh.
So
those people who are counting on next year's budgets might not make it, huh?
Oh, the one thing though that we also have is you can put a deposit and pay the rest in January by January 15th.
Okay.
And so we try to do that because we know a lot of churches are on that budget, and there's no fee, there's no like interest. It's just basically we know that we trust you to pay it in full by the end, or
else, right?
Or else there'll be someone that's probably waiting in line to take the spot. But
okay. Well, I'm looking forward to being there, and love to catch up with you guys too. If you're there, please find me and say hi, or those. I'll go for a shoulder slug, but probably not one of those football slaps in the rear. Those are just kind of awkward. So
don't go in the bathroom with Josh
instead. What's that?
Don't go in the bathroom with Josh.
Yeah.
That's a long story. That sounds bad. It's not.
Yeah. Cool. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Thanks, Cammie, for all that you're doing there and putting this together. And I'm looking forward to an awesome time of connecting with some of my leaders and staff and other people and just learning tons and tons while being encouraged with the worship stuff. So, Skit guys, right? They're going to be there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Thanks, Cammie.
Thanks. See ya.